In the last 2 seconds, when I was standing here nervous, how many of you were thinking that I was recollecting my points or getting prepared? How many times have we come across people and judged them from the outward appearance? You look at an old man and you think that he is old inside, where he cannot explore new things. You look at a lady and you think she cannot be brave. You look at a man who's 30 and you think he's man enough to handle anything, so you can confide in him or you can discuss manly things with him. And the examples go on. Just by looking at how they look and what kind of an appearance they have, we judge them. This has been from all time a very painful conundrum called body-mind problem. The body-mind problem, as one of the old critics have explained, is where a person has three parts in him: the mind, the soul, and the body. And it is just an interpretation of how a human being works. It is not approved by everybody. But what he says is the body and the body is impressed upon with a mind and a soul that is not exactly of the same fit. You can be outside a different person, but inside a different person. Your thought process is immaterial, but your body is the material that speaks to the world. So, how have we navigated through this problem is what I would like to discuss. First of all, when I first started speaking, I've told the outside inward problems, how people perceive us. But now I'd like to give an inside out. When you're trying to give a first impression to people misunderstand you, you always feel. That is the first point where you feel victimized. For example, from a personal example, I would say when I try to say I like rap music, and people will be like, oh, you look too innocent for it. Now, how we associate the word innocent to appearance is just how society has drawn limits to how an innocent person should look. And other examples would be, I have observed inside of our audience that when the evaluator is giving the evaluation and the person who is being evaluated is taking notes furiously, thinking, okay, these are the things should be important, I should take care of this in the next session. That person is showing keen observation, while the person who is giving evaluation thinks they are in pain, which is not true. So certain expressions that emote themselves through your facial expressions are not what you observe or you think is pain. This problem, this is what people who find themselves expressing themselves as an obstacle. So the obstacle being yourself. And that is why it's confusing between your soul or your mind and the body. You have to live with the body that you are impressed upon, that you have not chosen, against what you feel and what you've grown up into inside of your mind. So having understood the problem, how do we overcome it? The first and foremost would be to accept that this is the body that is given to you. We find alternatives to accept it or to alter our appearance for acceptance, which would be dressing in certain way to portray that this is who you are, or speaking in a certain way to conform to the society around for acceptance, or um, or even gestures. The way you interact with people, you alter it in certain ways so you could be somewhat relatable in a way that they understand this is who you are. These are the alternatives, but staying true to yourself means more than that. To accept that this is the body, yes, but I can't do anything about it other than accepting it. The second thing would be, this is the phase of life I am in. I am a 30-year-old man. I am a 50-year-old lady. This is the body that I am in. It is not necessary that I have parallels for my mind. A person who's 50-year-old is expected to be very graceful, solemn, but I do not have to be that, because inside my mind, I'm progressive. I am thinking in a level that is relatable to youngsters. So how do I come across to people in a way they can understand me? And the second point would be, do not take the pressure of having to communicate yourself only through words, or don't take the pressure of communicating and convincing, and the need for convincing people. And the third thing would be taking certain talents like a painting, art, or any way of communication, even verbal, when it comes to public speaking, and enunciating this is who you are, would be speaking more than your body. So you're doing art, you're doing work, you're expressing yourself in ways that more than you are, and that takes you out of your body and showcases who you are inside by any means. Poetry, singing, anything, any art, any form gives you that audience that looks only at what you're showcasing and not at your body, and that way you have an advantage of how you portray yourself and not being a victim of the mind-body problem. Having said that, I hope you take a message out of this.